96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time, camellia lovers, to be thinking about Bob Wines for this year's camellias. Believe it or not, some camellias are budded and blooming already. Come take a look. Bob has smaller number 1 size camellias, regularly $29.99 for just $12.99. All the way up to its famous heirloom camellias. These gorgeous beauties that Bob Wines is famous for, you get 2 for $99.99. Be sure to check out the Azalea Truckload Sale. Dwarf Ever Blooming Red Ruffles, still just $3.99. But they have some larger azaleas regularly selling for $19.99, this week for $7.99. Fruit tree sale too, starting with papaya, only $9.99. All the way up to avocado, guava, and much more in the big number 5 size at just $99.99. So come on over. Early in the day for the best selection, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens is on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
WOCA.
Ocala. Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
I'm back. That's right, Tom Schmidt's back on WOCA with a show called Ocala Talks. We'll talk about everything Ocala and surrounding areas, plus a little bit of sports as well. Every weekday, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 12, Tom Schmidt's with Ocala Talks, right here on WOCA, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Check out Tom starting October 1st. That's Thursday.
On September 29th at 10:30 a.m., I will have guests from the College of Central Florida telling our listeners that the College of Central Florida is offering scholarships for short-term, in-demand programs intended to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. You may qualify to attend with no tuition cost. Again, that's the 29th at 10:30 a.m. Education news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, the Source Radio. Continuing this Tuesday, it's been a good show so far, as we just finished up with Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive, auto repair with personal care. Before that, we had our garden show with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. And just to keep the fun rolling in the studio right now, as I've got Jennifer Frines and Dale French with the conversation of higher education, as we bring in the College of Central Florida, like we do every month, to talk about what we can do for the community to get more people educated and see the opportunities that are out there. So welcome, guys. Glad to have you in.
Happy to be here.
All right. So as Jennifer, we figured we'd just kind of toss it to you of what you got on the docket, of what information you want to get out there to the listeners, and everything else that's going on with the College of Central Florida. And what we were prefacing today, what we've had in the advertisements, is the economic impact of COVID-19 this past year, and what that means for job opportunities, what it means for people thinking about where their next check's going to come from, or maybe a career change. And with that in mind is my segue with Dale French, our friends there with Career Source, having you in to discuss things a little bit as well. It's glad to see you too, partner.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. So what do you got for us, Jennifer?
So we wanted to talk today about our Rapid Credentialing Scholarship Program.
Yeah.
And it's been a difficult time for sure, the past 6 months for people, but it's also a time, as you said, of renewal and stopping and looking at, maybe now is the time to make a change. And for some people, out of necessity, they need to get back to work.
Unfortunately, I was going to say, I got some friends that I know were probably in the restaurant service industry that are definitely had a drastic look to the inside, because that changed completely. As I'm thankful that I had just got out of it before everything hit, but I was doing the bartending gig for a while, and knowing just how that avenue changed so much is one of those things. So I'm sure there's a lot of people reflecting on what's next.
Right, and so that's actually was part of the inspiration of us calling this Be Essential, this campaign to be essential. It's not just an essential worker, but it's having a position and a career that is not subject to downturns like that, so that you're really, truly an essential. So the Rapid Credentialing Scholarship Program it's a grant-funded program that we partnered with the state of Florida, and we're so excited to partner with Career Source, Citrus, Levy, and Marion on, and I know Dale's going to share a little bit about that. And that is first and foremost a scholarship program. So I want to make that really clear. What we're talking about today are short-term college credit certificates that are, if you meet the requirements, tuition free. So that's the biggest, that's the takeaway headline I want to make sure that people understand. But I can get a little bit more into it so folks know what the programs are.
Yeah, because I'm sure they heard in the beginning, and that's how we ran the ad, is like, oh, you may qualify for tuition free. And I know a few people that I mentioned, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have them on. They were like, free?
Is it really?
Yeah.
What's the catch?
What's the catch? Yeah, exactly.
There is no catch, but there's certainly work for the person to do. Not only do they have to go through the admissions process, which can be a little bit of work to provide some documentation, but of course they have to attend class and do the work and learn the skills. So it's not just work free.
So show up, I get a certificate.
Let's be clear. So what we're setting out to do is identify the people who need or want training, short-term training, and then match them, especially in our partnership with Career Source, match their interests with jobs that are open in the growing fields right here, right now. And that's really what people want. So they want a program like this to be affordable. And so we have that tuition-free part in there, and that's, like I said, first and foremost, this is a scholarship program we're talking about. People want things to be short and flexible, and so all of the programs that we've included are able to be completed within 18 weeks or less.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. The majority of that will happen this spring, although we do have Fall B starting in a couple weeks. But if you're listening today and haven't gotten started on this process, January start might be a better time for you. So from January to really April is when most of this will happen, and you can be done by May and in a job in that field.
That's incredible to think, because like you said too, just the avenue of what we have left for this year, and I'm sure a lot of people are I've done this myself. I'm looking at what are the next 3 months. I wanted to look farther ahead and plan and set some goals, but it's almost like tumultuous time. This year's been enough. Let me see where we can go, not only day to day, but then start thinking about to get to the end of the year And so then we're saying that, hey, maybe 2021, this would be something like you said, January. Then by May, you could be actually working and having that career.
Yeah.
Incredible.
With really great starting salaries in all these areas. These programs are by design flexible, so most of them are online. We have some that have a hybrid meet, maybe once a week or something like that. And then for our EMT program, of course, the skills labs are actually in person, which I think most of us can agree we want our EMTs to learn the skills in person.
Hands-on.
So there's a couple of caveats there. And then really important to know that they're stackable. And so I need to explain that because it's not Legos. But it kind of functions like Legos. You go and get this certificate this spring. It's a college cadet certificate. When you finish, you can go to work or you can go to work and keep going to school.
Okay.
Which is what most people do. We had that conversation earlier about, Lockheed employees. Many of them are continuing their education. So these college credit certificates are embedded in our 2-year degrees. So if you take this program this spring, go to work for $41,000 next May, which is a great starting salary. Yeah. And then you work for a year and decide, you know what, I do think I want to get that 2-year degree. You're already maybe 30% finished with that degree.
Wow, that's huge.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, because then that takes a lot of that uphill battle, that mindset to be like, well, I'm already in the field. I'm already doing what's necessary and making a living. Now it's just adjusting time to continue to do the rest of it. Yeah, wow.
And a lot of people working at the same time as going to school, it makes it just easier for them to learn. It's you're learning hands-on, so that's exciting. So I know people want to know what the fields are, so let me make sure I tell you what the actual college credit certificates are. And it's cool. This is part of a statewide program called Get There. So in other words, go here and get there, go here to this school and get there to that job. And so the state has, in an unprecedented move, gotten all the community colleges and all the technical colleges together, which is a part of the governor's. We're going to be the #1 workforce education program in the country by 2030. Yeah. So to get everybody together on the same page and identify these 17 pathways that are in demand in Florida right now. And so 7 of those are what we have listed in our and that we offer. So the first one's in health is EMT, and most people know what an emergency medical technician is. That is entry level, and many of those licensed EMTs then go on and become paramedics, which is also a program that we have. And then if they're really eager, they can also do our paramedic bridge to RN and become a nurse. So, scalability and stackability, it's what we're all about. We want to make it easy to get in and get out and come back later because, that's what you do nowadays,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
You start and then you come back later and keep going. In our business and technology field, we've got lean manufacturing. Our college credit certificate in advanced manufacturing is called the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. Now, this is your first moment of education in the field today. I'm going to give you a lesson right now that I had to learn. It has nothing to do with karate. The Lean Six Sigma Green Belt is not related to that.
They have a black belt. They have a yellow belt, I believe, if I remember. Yeah.
In nomenclature, but because you're not learning karate.
Conveyor belt, if I'm not mistaken. Right. Yeah.
So what that is has to do with trains you to become a quality control technician.
Okay.
Has to do with efficiency in the process of manufacturing, and then computer data specialist is another CCC. That one gets you some basic information about Microsoft Office, the entire suite, but then you begin to learn about hardware and software.
Oh, wow.
And the specialty and the real, really valuable skill there is the fundamentals of database management, which is a critical skill today, and that gets you down that pathway of getting deeper into that field. So that gets you started. Logistics and supply chain. Most folks know that we are now a major hub for logistics and supply chain. There's a lot of jobs, so that's a great one. And we're working with Dollar Tree, the new distribution center, to train some of their incoming employees. So they're working and taking this program at the same time. But there will certainly be additional scholarships, so you don't have to be a Dollar Tree employee. And then accounting technology specialization is the last one in business, workforce and technology. And then a special program, but also in business that we're doing is our entrepreneurship. So we've partnered with the CEP, the Ocala Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership, to work work with their Impact program, which works with minority entrepreneurs, and those students will get our Entrepreneurship College Credit Certificate, which is 4 classes.
Yeah.
That'll happen this spring, and they'll do that as a group. And we're excited about that because that's going to be something really, really special.
Yeah.
But we have more scholarship available, and so you're not limited to being a part of that. So let me also say that eligibility for this is pretty broad, which is so super exciting. You can share that with your friends. You do not need to be unemployed to be eligible for this scholarship. You simply really need to complete all the admissions paperwork, which again, there's some steps to take there, and then the federal financial aid form, and enroll in the right classes. So that's pretty much it.
This is incredible. Is this different than what you would assume a lot of community colleges or state colleges usually do? You just assume that, like you said, I either got to go work a part-time job and then get into business management and then struggle for that for the 2 years, get the associates or the requisites, and then I can actually go on to something. Is this something kind of unique in a way that is, this is a little different here?
Well, it's kind of unique in the country, but Florida is pretty known for this.
Okay.
So to have stackable certificates inside your 2-year degree so that you can really work in the field and kind of come in and out as you need to because life happens, that is pretty common in Florida. We've perfected that model.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons we're seen as the top higher education community college system in the nation for perfecting that in our 2+2 agreements with the state universities. But something that people don't often know, these college credit certificates are typically not covered by federal financial aid. So if you're someone who thinks, I'm not sure I'm ready to do something like that, and you're thinking, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not ready to go to college, or maybe this isn't, maybe this is too much of a commitment for me, you would have had to put out the money for that yourself.
Right.
And so we wanted to use this grant to ease that entryway and let people see that, this can change your life.
Yeah, that's incredible, because that gets everything started without this huge, oh man, I got to put all this up there just to get started. Is it going to be worth it? And that's usually
feel like not too good to be true. Like that, you were saying it's too good to be true. That feels like more realistic, what people expect.
And with that, that's where, if there's any hindrance of they're not comfortable, then it's easy to pull away because they're like, oh, I put all this up front, I don't know what I'm going to do now or whatever. But this is unique. This is something that, like I told you, I come from up north, and nothing like this was ever there, or if it was very convoluted on how you could find that out. It would take you having to go through a staffing agency to be put with a company, and until you could inquire within that company, they could pull out some pamphlet that says, yeah, maybe, and then you find out at Stark Tech, 20 miles away, that they do offer some night class course that does something close. You know what I mean? It was so convoluted, but here you guys do it right up front. It's pretty much out there. And for information for folks to find out more about this, where can they go?
So they can go to, I'm going to say it slowly so people can write it down. The website is www.cf.edu/essential, and everything's on there. They can fill out an inquiry form, register for an information session, and get started. That's the best way to get started. And I don't want to miss out on talking about our partnership with CareerSource
Absolutely.
and just Levy Marion, because
bring that in with it.
They've been a partner with us from day one in choosing which programs we were going to do so that we could match them to the open jobs. And then they've kind of come forth with some other assistance that I'll let Dale talk about.
Yeah, so like Jennifer was saying, number one, when the businesses we work with, you hit 3 criteria that they love, and that is short-term, flexible, and no cost.
Yeah.
Our businesses love that. Our job seekers love that. So this is a great partnership. And of course, we work with the college all the time on numerous projects, but we are excited about this one, especially when we get into the ease of the program. And so, like Jennifer was saying, when all of this started about, 2-3 months ago, maybe, we all sat down and said, okay, what are the occupations we should be looking at? So we pulled the data and started looking at what occupations are in high demand.
Okay.
I would say excellent wages, especially for some of the entry-level positions, and how short can they be?
Okay.
Because we love short term too. We love getting people back to work. And again, the businesses we work with, they want to be able to identify talent and get them into work quickly.
Yeah.
So the occupations that we've picked out here were all based on local economic needs.
Yeah.
We certainly are a distribution hub. So when you start looking at the logistics, the Lean, the Six Sigma, very important credentials to have, and these are all credentials that individuals can earn, and it'll help them push their wage if they're looking at getting into the distribution field. And Adam, like you said earlier, having individuals that are kind of reassessing where they're at in life. When you look at food service and things like that, certainly all occupations we need, but they can be a bit volatile at times.
Absolutely.
Not only with the economic, but as we've been seeing over the last 6-7 months with the virus. So it's trying to identify where people can take those skills and move into a different occupation if they want to do that, and a much higher paying occupation.
Right.
So we're going to be working with the college, and you know, of course, any of the grants, and we work with a lot of grants, they always come with caveats.
Sure.
So
that's the real world.
Yeah, that is the real world. Everybody thinks, oh, it's grant money, you get tons and tons of money, and everything's going to be great, but that isn't true. There's always a lot of planning, and we spend literally hours discussing these things, saying, okay, how can we help? What can you do? What can we do? And so we're looking at partnering with the college in covering some of the costs with the tuition out of the funding that we receive annually to assist individuals in programs much like these. But there is a caveat in the grant that there has to be a certain amount of local match, and where are you finding that at? Because you know, even at the federal level, they want to make sure that you're putting in an honest, well-planned proposal when you get these grants. So we're contributing funding as well to cover the tuition of some of these costs. So we do want people to know that, yes, it is no cost tuition. That is the point. And really, when you look at the partnership between the College of Central Florida and CareerSource, we both have the same goals. We just go at them a little bit differently. So our resources and knowledge and what we can do organizationally complement each other.
Absolutely.
I mean, our goal is to prepare a well-trained, competent workforce.
Yeah.
And the college takes care of the training. We'll take care of the referral and the placement side on the back end and working with the businesses. And so, I mean, that's why we work so well together. I mean, we both know what we both know what we both do well, and we both know what we don't do well.
Of course.
So we have our constraints, but it's a partnership like this that's going to go. It's going to be a great program, and it should help a lot of individuals.
Yeah.
And not only is that partnership going to get students to the starting point faster, I think it's going to get them through with the knowledge they've got assistance for the placement piece near the end. Between the two organizations. And then in addition to that, you know, what people really want to know is, you know, okay, how much is there? And this stretches it. You know, this partnership and that CareerSource is going to work with us, and where they can stretch our dollars means that we may be able to continue to award scholarship into next year.
Yeah.
You know, and that's right now we're really focused on right now, but that will be a wonderful thing for, you know, folks coming behind.
Yeah.
So.
And at the end of the day, the goal for College of Central Florida is the opportunity to educate, and then for CareerSource to put them in the workforce right here in our community. Actually educate them and keep them here. Because I know that's always a big thing is how some people can come, get the education, then there's the opportunities elsewhere. But what we're always kind of stressing and being strenuous with the stressing is the idea that these opportunities are for what happens for the job placement here in our community.
Yes.
So that makes an impact, and that's where I know, Dale, it's kind of coming in with where you mentioned for the grant money. That's what they're assuming. It's like, well, this is to impact the community, right? Well, that's why this partnership works so well, is because you both understand that at the bottom line, we want to get them educated and have them in our workforce in our community right here in Ocala, which is the best part of it.
And that's the base of the occupations.
Yeah.
You know, the occupations were picked to support our local economic needs.
Yeah.
So, you know, honestly, if I was working with somebody that was looking at moving to Georgia or another state and wanted to enroll in this program, we would have to sit down with them and do some labor market information, find out if where you may be in 6 months or a year, is this going to be beneficial to you?
Yeah.
But if you're going to stay here, we know this is beneficial to you because we've done the homework for it.
Yeah. Which is incredible, too. And I didn't want that to go unnoticed, too, is the thought process that went into why you guys chose these avenues is exactly that, what you saw with the numbers, where it's needed and where the opportunities are. And just the three mentionings, short-term, no cost, and what was the third one?
Short-term, no cost, and flexible.
Flexible, absolutely.
So, and really that's a requirement. If you look at the modern workforce, and if somebody is working, there have to be flexible options.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's why a lot of people look at going back for continuing education and say, probably not right now. I can't fit it into the schedule and, with the family or the kids or whatever the obligations are. But really, when you start looking at the online options and if you really look at the scheduling, it is very flexible. So there you can fit it in.
Good. Well, thank you very much, guys, as that'll do it for AM Ocala Live on this Tuesday. Stay tuned for tomorrow's show as we just wrapped up this one. It was a good one, and we appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Adam.
And until tomorrow, we'll be discussing a little bit about that, that political debate tonight. So stay tuned tomorrow, AM Ocala Live. Until tomorrow, goodbye.
Consideration, a hearing. We urge our Democrat colleagues in the Senate take the opportunity to meet with Judge Barrett.
The National Guard has been deployed in Cleveland ahead of tonight's first presidential debate between President Trump and Democrat Joe Biden. The Cleveland mayor says the Guard was brought in to assist local assets and to make sure any protests are handled in a peaceful way. And you're listening to USA Radio News.
October 8th is World Sight Day, the day to raise awareness that hundreds of millions of kids around the world need glasses but don't have access to get them. This World Sight Day, leading global vision nonprofit One Sight is launching a free digital children's book called Through the Looking Glasses, Stories About Seeing Clearly. The book features 30 children's stories and illustrations about seeing clearly by authors and artists from 17 different countries. To celebrate the launch, One Sight is hosting an online bedtime stories event where numerous celebrities, athletes, and authors will read bedtime stories to children globally on World Sight Day this October 8th at 7 p.m. Together, we can make an impact with vision care around the world. To learn more about World Sight Day, participate in bedtime stories, and download the free new book, please go to onesight.org/World Sights Day. That's onesight.org/World Sights Day.
Atlanta voters are deciding today who will fill out the short remainder of the late Congressman John Lewis's term. 7 candidates on the ballot for the special election in the 5th Congressional District. That unexpired term will run out this coming January. 2 services back online after outages last night. 911 and Microsoft 365 services were both experiencing trouble across the country. 911 services down in several states, including Arizona, Delaware, Minnesota, Pennsylvania. At around the same time, folks were having trouble accessing Outlook services like email, Teams, Office.com, Dynamics 365, among others. It's not yet clear if the 2 outages were connected. The Tampa Bay Lightning celebrating their first Stanley Cup title since the 2003-2004 season. The Bolts beating the Dallas Stars 2-0 in Game 6 of the final last night. And you're listening to USA Radio News.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-610-5739. 800-610-5739. That's 800-610-5739. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The Black Chef pictured on cream of wheat packaging since back in 1893 is now going to be leaving. Cream of Wheat parent company B&G Foods says while that image is based on an actual Chicago chef named Frank White, some consumers still find the image offensive, so it's now going to be removed. The Major League Baseball playoffs beginning today, they promise to be as unusual as the 60-game regular season was. The postseason includes 16 teams instead of the usual 8. The divisional round, League Championship Series, and World Series will all be played at bubble locations in California and Texas to guard against the spread of COVID-19. The LA Dodgers are the top seed in the National League. The Tampa Bay Rays are the American League's top seed. Today is National Coffee Day.
You the cream in my coffee.
It has both local coffee shops and the big national chains offering deals for National Coffee Day. Starbucks Reward members can get a free drink that can be loaded to their account. Dunkin' is offering free hot or iced coffee with any purchase. And at Krispy Kreme, coffee is completely free today. You can find us online for free anytime. We're at usaradio.com. That's usaradio.com. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
There's so much hand sanitizer on the market, but beware. Not all hand sanitizers are created equal. That's why you want to